Hi, recall that in our development of decimals, we are regarding finite decimals as an alternate abbreviated way of writing a decimal fractions. So following the definition we've been using, the convention we've been using, you'll agree that this decimal fraction 1/10 may be written as 0.1 and so on. So in general, we want to be comfortable with looking at a decimal fraction and rewriting it as a finite decimal and rewriting a given finite decimal as a decimal fraction. In particular, I want to make sure you can go back and forth. You can go from here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here very quickly. So practice these and get comfortable with these. Now let's look at something on the number line. Let's look at the number line I have here for you. I've cut up the unit segment into 10 equal parts, 10 parts by 10 parts that are equal in length. And as we know before, each of these points, I've not taken them, but each of these points has a fraction symbol, is a fraction, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, and so on. Now that we know we can convert all of these decimal fractions, we can rewrite them as finite decimals. That's exactly what I've done here for you. So this point is 1/10, but this point can also be thought of as 0.1. This point is 0.2, and so on. And once we get up to 0.9, be careful. This point is 10/10, which is also 1. 1's name is 1.0. There's several ways of thinking about it. In another video, I said any whole number can be how we can write any whole number as a whole number, decimal point, and a 0. But here I can also show you 10/10. If you want to write this decimal fraction as a finite decimal, what we said was we can condense this. Instead of a fraction symbol, we can take the numerator, write it here, and we place a decimal point in such a way that the decimal point keeps track of which power of 10 we have in the denominator. And the way it does is you look at the we put the decimal point in such a way that the decimal number of decimal digits here, it's 1 decimal digit, matches with the power of 10. 10 is 10 to the 1. So number of zeros in here in this power in the denominator you see matches with the number of decimal digits in here. So 1's name is 1.0. So be careful not to think that you're simply increasing 7, 8, 9, and then one common mistake is to think next is 0.10. But if you write 0.10, 0.10, as you know, is actually another name for 0.1. In another video, we said given any finite decimal, we can add extra zeros to the right end of the decimal. So 0.1 is exactly the same as 0.10. So we have to be careful to remember if you're labeling these points by their finite decimal symbols, that means this is 0.8, this is 0.9, but this one is 1.0. And similarly, this one, 11/10, when we convert it into a finite decimal, is 1.1, and so on. So pay attention to that. Thank you.